Extra special warning. Our hosts do no research and preparation for these movies. They are just two cynical douchebags. They think just because they have 10 years of bad TV under their belts, they are qualified to review these horrible movies.
So YouTubers, Bird and Gutter once again with one of the worst movies on Netflix. And I'm down to my last beer, and I need way more than just one beer to talk about the Asylum film that is 500 Mile an Hour Storm.
And in this fantastic, adventurous film,
If that's what you want to fucking call it.
500 Mile an Hour Storm. Who's starring in this film?
CVD.
I think he means Casper Van Dien.
Casper Van Dien. Just because I wanted to, I had to abbreviate his name when I was writing down the notes for this movie. It just came up CVD, and I was thinking, RVD? Why not from this point on, he is now CVD.
Yes, he is.
So, yeah. This movie starts out with these scientist motherfuckers in some kind of island fucking lab thing.
Whatever.
And they have some kind of laser beam that they're shooting up into the fucking sky. And it's...
For no reason.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I don't know. And at the same time that's going on, there's a huge fucking hot air balloon gathering. I don't know what you'd call it.
Yeah, but...
There's fuck tons of hot air balloons. I guarantee you know what happened?
Darth Vader, though.
Yeah, that was fucking cool. This thing was happening in real life, and Asylum's like, how can we capitalize on this? They're like, fuck, grab, Casper Van Dien, right? And grab a hot air balloon, and there we go. And we'll just film it, and we'll just add it to some movie at some later point.
But we won't let the balloon get more than 2 feet off the ground, because we're just going to be sitting there holding cameras. Dean's going to be doing this, blowing the thing once in a while. It was really poorly put together.
The CG is worse than Nazis at the center of the earth.
Yes, it's not as bad as Birdemic, though.
No, but
It's bad.
It's
noticeably bad.
Yeah, it's noticeably bad. But anyway, we're talking about these scientists on this island laser beam thing, right? Casper Van Dien, I guess, is one of them or something, and he works with the Kmart Steve Harvey. But whatever, it doesn't matter. You know, the laser beam they shot up into the sky.
No, wait. I just love the fact that we do our top 5s and we talk so much good stuff. And we even say the real names of the people. But the worst movies, we don't even acknowledge their names. We're just like, CVD, we got that. But the fucking Kmart Steve Harvey?
Yeah. I want to put research into the movies and stuff I like. I do not care about 500 Mile an Hour Storm. I do not care about CVD. I do not care about the Kmart Steve Harvey. I do not care about fucking Asylum, right?
Or hot air balloons.
Or, yeah, except for the Darth Vader one, which was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking cool.
But we're getting off of the topic, right? So Kmart Steve Harvey, like I said, is friends with Casper Van Dien. They work together on the laser thing, I guess, but whatever. They shoot it up. Storms start. Casper Van Dien.
How come Casper wasn't at work that day?
I don't know.
He was
because he went on the balloon ride with his wife and kid.
Oh, yeah.
Teenager, not kid. As the 500 Mile an Hour Storm starts, happening and stuff, there's a lot of stock fucking footage of hurricanes and whatever. It's just there's a lot of stock footage in this movie of helicopters at points and
helicocksuckers.
Yeah, helicocksuckers. They keep using the same fucking shots over and over again. But anyway, Casper Van Dien and his family start noticing that the weather's fucked up because he's a meteorologist or whatever. So they land their fucking balloon, get in their car, and then they fucking start trying to outrun a 500 mile an hour storm. Trying to outrun a 500 mile an hour storm, but they fucking do it. And as they're fucking doing it, behind them is the fucking tornado with all these little teeny tiny hot air balloons flying around it looking like fucking crap.
And I love the fact that they're able to outrun a 500... Notice that no Chevy car ever goes 500 miles an hour.
No car besides some kind of jet car.
Except maybe a Bugatti.
That's like 200 and some, dude. That's a big difference from 200 and some to fucking 500 miles an hour.
Out there because I want one.
But yeah, okay, in this movie, CVD looks fucking homeless, right? He looks like we said at the end of last week's review, a skull with skin stretched over it with gray stubble sticking out. So he looks homeless.
For for real.
But they, after they outrun the storm, they go to his house where
Basically,
it's not storming, and it's a fucking mansion. His house, he looks fucking homeless, but he lives in a fucking mansion.
Basically, Casper Van Dien looks like he could have played the Red Skull.
He should have played the Red fucking Skull.
In Captain America. I mean, all you had to do is just paint his face red, because the rest of him just looks like pure Skull's eyes bug out of his head, and he's constantly making this face.
But besides looking like the Red Skull, CVD also looks like the Kmart Jeff Fahey. And if anybody has any clue who Jeff Fahey is, even if you don't, the pilot from Lost, in the later seasons, he looks just like that. The fucking beard, the fucking scraggly fucking hair, the whole fucking deal.
Yeah, he looks like poop.
And surprisingly, we have to say again, throughout this movie, there is nothing but constant fucking music that hardly ever fucking stops.
It doesn't. If they stopped the fucking soundtrack, they'd pick up the shitty sound of everything else.
So CVD and his fucking crew, which is his wife and his teenager, they fucking leave their house and they run from the storm again, and they fucking outrun the storm again and end up somewhere where it's not storming
and
again.
Chevy Tahoe. Yeah, I didn't know
They were fucking dodging They're dodging lightning. Lightning happens so fast you wouldn't be able to fucking dodge lightning.
The greatest part about this storm was it's CGI blowing. But if you look at the signs, the signs on the side of the road, like stop signs, they ain't moving. Nothing's waving, no trees are moving or nothing. No real trees.
Yeah, because everything in this fucking movie was crap CG. The buildings, the trees,
fires, the forest fire they were running through was all CGI. Everything was CGI. And look, I understand it because it's probably like, you have no money, and you're like, well, we're going to light a forest on fire. We can't do it for real because who's going to put it out? Casper Van Dien?
But anyway, speaking of Casper Van Dien, he is sure fucking fallen far from Starship Troopers.
Oh, yes. And Starship Troopers wasn't even that good.
Yeah, I mean, if you look, it's good in its own way. I like the kind of the way it's like delivered, but the acting and stuff's kind of fucking bunk. Yeah,
yeah.
I like
Jake Busey. Poor Steve.
Yeah, but see, that doesn't make a movie bad. Frighteners was not bad, and it had Jake Busey.
I liked Jake Busey in that movie.
Tomcats was not bad, and it had Jake Busey in it.
And I like Jake Busey in it. I like Jake Busey. Fuck it.
So, CVD and his wife and his fucking kid are outrunning
really
the storm once again, but somehow now the storm catches up, and they somehow ride the storm, like, in their car inside of a tractor trailer, right?
And they approached this trailer, and it took an hour for them to get there. They were basically like, the trailer swinging, back to the car. Back to the trailer swinging. It took forever.
Yeah, then they get into it, and then it's like real slow motion shots of them just going. At some point, I think the wife even smiled.
She did,
because the kid in the back's like,
and she was like,
and they're shaking the camera,
swaying it. We're in a 500-mile-an-hour storm that should basically be ripping this trailer to shreds.
And as we said, there was a forest fire. So they are running through this forest fire, and there is a lot of just slow motion running in this fucking movie.
Yep.
But so they're running through this forest fire, and they just find a fucking helicocksucker.
There was more slow motion running in this than there were at Chariots of Heart.
They find a helicocksucker, right? And it's running. So they're like, okay, our helicocksucker. So they get the helicocksucker, and they take off.
Yep. Just random helicopters sitting in the middle of the woods. Because there's a helipad everywhere in the middle of the woods somewhere.
You know what? Fuck it, dude. This right here is our last Asylum movie for a month.
Yes.
Like, if we start one and we see the Asylum pop up, we're fucking stopping it. And we were moving on and picking another movie. No more Asylum for at least a month. We can never say we're never doing Asylum, because there's so many of them on fucking Netflix.
Yes.
So for basically the rest of this movie, there's really nothing worth mentioning until the end. The Kmart Steve Harvey dies, and Casper Van Dien has to get into the eye of the storm to do something with some kind of GPS thing, right? He's in the eye. I know the eye's calm, right?
Right.
But he's not always in the eye. He's in the outer part of it, and then he ends up in the eye, and then the eye passes, he's out again. Okay, 500-mile-an-hour storm. Casper Van Dien with a GPS in one hand.
Which would rip your face off. Let's just think about that.
GPS in one hand, this hand holding on to a manhole, right? And he's just floating up in the air like, woo! But the best part about it is that you can see the fucking cables holding up his fucking legs in multiple shots in this fucking movie.
That was awesome. And he was just like, Oh, you got me? Oh!
And then some...
I'm in a $500 store, my shirt's barely blowing.
So some army dude that CVD dealt with earlier comes up and grabs his hand to save him.
Wait a minute, we didn't mention that.
No, because I don't care.
Sacrifice that cocksucker. No, I want to talk. There's one scene where they're running down a hallway.
Yeah,
CVD,
in slow motion.
In slow motion, by the way. They're running down a hallway.
CVD and some army guy.
And some army guy, random army guy, and they're just running down the thing, okay? And it gets to the door. They both get to this door simultaneously. They're just like, bang.
Yeah, and the army dude could have gotten in the door, but...
Yeah, okay. The guy says, go on without me.
He does not say. He does not say that.
Okay, well, he started to. It was jumbled. It was like, go.
I don't think he said anything. I think they just ran to the door and they were going, like Asylum tried to get that idea across but failed horribly because it seemed like CVD just went black.
Shut the door. And the guy, wait a minute. If you had enough time to say anything, you had enough time to get in the door and save your ass too. Why would you sacrifice your...
Anyway, that's just a small detail in this film, right? Like I said, we're talking about the end.
But the guy came back and he's holding...
Barely. I mean, he's holding his head. He's and like it's $500 store, but neither one of them are like...
But the best part is, CVD looks like he's smiling. This guy's face looks like he's gonna let him go because he's pissed that he left him behind to get taken out by the big CGI floodwater.
Yeah, whatever.
He was like this. Yeah.
Whatever, I don't care. So you know how they take care of the storm in this movie? They fucking kill the storm with a laser beam. They explain it a little bit better than that, but they basically kill the storm with a fucking laser beam. But that doesn't work. So they get in another helicopter sucker, right? And they're all flying through the air towards this fucking laser beam island fucking lab thing.
That just looks like a big giant lightsaber.
Yeah. And they have to shoot a missile from a helicopter that's not carrying any missiles. But they have to shoot a missile at this fucking thing. Right. So they do. Like a missile just appears underneath. Like it's just a stock footage of a helicopter, right? And then it just ploop CGI missile just appears and pew.
Yep, and goes right for the
and target. They blow the thing up. Yay, happy fucking ending, you know.
And I don't
what
care.
Fucking ever.
We're not doing any more Asylum films.
Not for a month. No, not for a month.
I don't want to ever do them again.
But we're moving on, right? We're moving on to a movie from the 80s. A big budget movie. A very well-known movie from the 80s.
Yes, with a very well-known douche.
And you know what's fucked up is, you know, back in the day, this is one of those things like the A-Team, the Incredible Hulk, you know, that was, when you were younger, oh, this movie's so fucking awesome. You watch it nowadays, it's fucking awful.
It's crap.
And the movie we're doing next week is fucking Top Gun.
Highway to the danger zone.
Fucking Scientologist, fucking douchebag. And don't try to sue me either, motherfuckers. I ain't got shit.
I'm up on my chair. I love Katie. Actually, I do love Katie Holmes. I saw her titties many times, especially in, oh fuck, what was that movie?
The Gift.
The Gift, yeah, dude, you got to see
But
Katie
anyway,
Holmes'
Tom Cruise, Scientologist, L. Ron Hubbard, all next week, along with Anthony Edwards.
Yes. Oh, and you just throw Anthony Edwards in there. And a Val Kilmer.
Yeah, a thin Val Kilmer. But
sorry, Val.
But that's next week for Bird Gutter. Once again, this has been one of the worst movies on Netflix. And my beer lasted the whole fucking review, surprisingly.
Well, 500-mile-an-hour storm must not have been that bad. Yeah, it was.
It was. Alright, now there's like a flip of the switch. Asylum.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's not like a fucking, you know, over-the-top switch. It's a horde switch. There you go.
Now I'm ready for 500-mile-an-hour storm. When I flip my hat, it's like a switch. Like a machine.
Yeah, well, do the over-the-top of this movie so we can get the hell out of here. And what's this gem of a film? Oh, what's this gem? And who in this film... I can't say that right. And who's this fantastic film starring?
Casper Van Dien.
JCVD.
JCVD?
Oh, that's fucking chunk life.
Yeah, let's just start that again.
Okay, go ahead. I'm poor, and if anybody wants to donate a Bugatti Veyron to me, please. I'll live in it.
But for a month, we are no mas.
No mas for no mas for Asylum.